Good afternoon. Welcome to the news at 2. I am Yetunde Oladatun Amao. The presidency has clarified that there is no leadership vacuum in Nigeria, noting that the president and his vice are fully engaged with the affairs of the nation despite being out of the country at the moment. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, stated this in response to inquiries about the leadership of the country. He adds that state organs are functioning as usual, reaffirming that the Senate President, Secretary to Government of the Federation, ministers and service chiefs are in their respective positions, ensuring the smooth operations of government. The presidential aide added that the Nigerian constitution does not explicitly require the physical presence of either the president or his vice in the country at all times to fulfill their duties. Nigeria has received the first batch of 846,000 doses of R21 malaria vaccine from Javi, the Vaccine Alliance. Minister of Health Ali Pate described the arrival of the vaccines as a significant milestone in government's efforts to eliminate malaria in the country. The minister said the vaccines will be distributed to states with the highest burden of the disease, particularly Kebbi and Bayelsa, and will serve as a complement to other treatments for malaria. He adds that the vaccine has proven to be safe and efficient for malaria treatment. The Director General of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Muyaino, says an enforcement team will be set up by the agency and the date and location for administration of the vaccines will be communicated in due course. He said about 140,000 doses are expected in the coming months, noting that the target is to make available 1 million vaccines for the first batch. The Lagos State government says it has carried out dredging maintenance in Owode Elede Ajegunle and under deck on pile of Itowolo Bridge in anticipation of water release from the Ogun Osun River Basin Authority. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, who stated this at a press conference organized to alert Lagos residents on the social-economic implications of systemic release of water from Oyo Dam, assured that the dam is not under any imminent threat of releasing excess water beyond safe limits.
Equipped with 4 radial gates capable of releasing up to 2,271 cubic meters per second during peak periods. However, current releases are measured at 208 cubic meters per second, with only 2 gates opened at 12% capacity each, ensuring controlled and steady discharge. Notably, 62.1% of the dam's flood control capacity remains intact, meaning the Oyo Dam is not under any imminent threat of releasing excess water beyond safe limits. This has been the collaboration of the state with the Ogun Osun River Basin Development Authority.
While appealing to residents to support the state government's effort, the commissioner asked that the emergency flood abatement gang have been consistently desilting and working on secondary collectors and conduits to enable them to discharge efficiently and act as retention basins.
We sincerely appeal that they should desist from acts that can lead to flooding. They should stop indiscriminate dumping of refuse in unauthorized places, throwing PET bottles on roads, clogging of drains with silt or construction materials, as this acts impedes free flow of water.
In another development, the Commissioner for the Environment says the state government, in collaboration with the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, will hold its annual Work for Nature.
Work for Nature is an effort towards preserving nature and improving quality of lives of Lagosians. This year's program will be commemorated with a 3-kilometer walk that will take off from Onikon Stadium at 7:15 a.m.
This year's theme calls our attention to the fact that we are living in precarious times, especially when it comes to how our climate is changing. And we are happy with the partnership we have with the Lagos State government, that we are able to continue to say these things and continue to walk the talk. And especially with the recent actions by the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources to ensure that the environment protects us.
The theme for this year is land restoration, desertification, and drought resilience, with a slogan, "Our land, our future generation restorations." The Lagos State government and other partners raised awareness on the importance of formal and responsible management of e-waste and the solutions available to citizens within the community at an event to mark International Day of E-Waste Management. Olatunde Yusuf tells us more.
This year's theme, the e-waste ons, retrieve, recycle and revive, aims to inspire people to declutter their homes of unused or broken devices.
E-waste is hazardous and it's not like the pet bottle that you pick on the road. So it's something that has to be taken care of or handled in a proper manner before we can, so that we can be able to protect our environment, both within the school, at home.
Championing this cause, the Lagos State government, in collaboration with E-Waste Producer Responsibility Organization Nigeria and other national and international bodies, are raising awareness on e-waste management.
Lagos is clearly the headquarters of used electronic materials across Africa. I mean, people bring used everything from Germany, from Europe, and Lagos has the highest volume coming in. Evidence, Alaba market, and a few other international markets where we bring in used electronic equipment. However, when they don't work, or when people are done with them, we don't understand the supply chain or the chain for disposal. So what we're doing now is advocacy on the chain of disposal, and also to let people know that you shouldn't just dump it along with your regular waste.
We also need policies from the government which will mandate organizations and people to start taking care of their e-waste. Just like we are doing here today, we also need to catch them young. Like when you teach young people, we are sure that the future will be better than what we are having now.
Creating awareness among young people. This involves an advocacy program on e-waste collection among secondary school students, while the University of Lagos students are pioneering the Tertiary WE-Recovery Challenge as an appropriate model for collection of e-waste.
Children and young generation are always very good. One, we get them to imbibe the right attitude. They are very good advocates of change, because when you speak to them, they go back home, they speak to their peers, they speak to their parents, they talk about it. They are young, fresh, and more enthusiastic about what they learn. It's the right tool to create this change that we want and shift attitude away from putting e-waste with other household waste.
I learn to reduce the amount of electronics I use and to reuse as much as I can and to recycle as much as I can.
I have learned that by bringing our electronic waste to the e-waste, it is better than throwing it away because it is hazardous to the environment.
Having knowledge of what indiscriminate disposal of e-waste poses to human life, it is expected that this advocacy would be taken back to schools, homes, and the community at large as collective efforts taken to put a stop to it. Olatunde Yusuf, LTV News.
In sports, Nigeria's Flamingos coasted to a 4-1 victory over New Zealand as the 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup Finals rolled into action in Santiago de los Caballeros on Wednesday night. Shakirat Mashoud scored one of the competition's fastest goals after only 80 seconds into the match. 4-0 after Folabi's looping header from Adegoke's cross from the right sailed over the goalkeeper into the net from a corner kick to pull one back for the New Zealanders. The coach Bankole Olowokere side will take on Kenya's Senate is set to vote on whether to remove Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office at the end of the second day of his impeachment trial. The Deputy President is defending himself before the lawmakers in the upper house of Parliament 2/3 of whom are required to remove him from office. He faces 11 charges, including corruption, inciting ethnic divisions, and undermining government. As the trial which began on Wednesday, the deputy president pleaded not guilty to the charges. Recall that an overwhelming majority of MPs in the National Assembly last week voted to approve his impeachment, setting the stage for the Senate trial. He has fallen out with President William Ruto 2 years after they were elected on a joint ticket. President Ruto also accused the deputy president of acquiring massive wealth through corrupt dealings, among other accusations. The row began in June when many disgruntled Kenyans took to the streets in deadly protests over unpopular tax hikes. That's the news. For more news, please connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free lines to 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. Thank you for watching. Join us again at 4.